Here's one of the latest interviews from Rock and Metal Revival. If you want to hear the whole show, go to rmrshow.com. There's brand new music from a band called Pareidolia. It's called Betrayed Within on Rock and Metal Revival. Dude, that's one of the best parts about doing this show.
Yeah, you get to hear these new bands coming out. And I didn't know what to expect when I saw this.
Yeah.
And then it's like, whoa.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. And we have Steve Dadaian on the phone with us, guitarist of Pareidolia. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we were, we got sent this. We were looking at it. And we threw it in the CD player, and we're both like, whoa, where have these guys come from? Tell us a little bit about the band.
So we're pretty much a progressive metal, hard rock sort of weird mix. From New Jersey. We actually formed while we were living in New York City, but a lot of us are just living in New Jersey now. I'm from New Jersey myself. And, I just was, a couple years ago, I had been gigging, just doing small gigs with the bass player that's in the band now. And we had, I had a couple, just ideas and songs I had demoed kind of in our back catalog of songs. And we hadn't really done anything with them. And we just sort of came together and were like, well, maybe let's see if we can do anything with this. So I had, one or two songs that were close to being done, and so I had, completed them eventually, and we're sitting with them like, these sound pretty cool, but we need to get a good frontman, a good singer on this. So I was looking for studio work at the time, and I guess we got linked up with the singer we have now. Just I was looking for studio work, he was looking for some gigs to do, and we just happened to cross paths, and I just presented him with a couple of songs I had demoed just by myself, and he was really into it. He's like, I think I can do something with this. So he, gave me a rough idea of where he wanted to go with it, and it was we felt it was like a perfect match. So we initially just wanted it to just be like just a small 4-track EP, but then eventually we just kept writing, and then before we knew it, we had 13 tracks, and we're like, well, we may as well just put an album out. So we were just working on that, and then we eventually came out with this record.
Well, I know the first single that I heard from was Betrayed Within, and I've been just digging the hell out of this tune, and you guys have a video for that song.
We do, and so before we released the record, we had done some cool gigs before we actually released it, sort of in anticipation of releasing it, but we were thinking, well, I've been working through YouTube and the social media world just as a guitar player by myself, and then our singer Chandler has a respectable following of his own, and so we're like, well, that's cool. We each have our own thing. People can, if they go on YouTube, it's one of the first things I do when I look up a band is I think, do they have anything on YouTube or anything I can watch? And we didn't have a video for really any of the songs, so we had to pick what's the one song that we feel would be a good single. People that maybe like rock music, they don't, and kind of reaching the most widest audience, and we felt like this was a really good track. It had a lot of cool meaning behind it, some cool imagery, and so we're like, we have to put out a video for this. We have to make sure artistically it kind of represents how we felt when we were writing it, and so it took some time, conceptually coming up with the actual video itself, and then finding the right guy to do it, and it took a while, but eventually we came out with this finished product that we were happy with.
Now, when you guys started, you were a dentist, right? And your singer was a orthopedic surgeon or something?
Yeah, our bass player is. How
does that work?
So we actually met when we were in school, and we had both been gigging when we were not in school. We would. And in late in the evenings, it's when you're living in New York City, that's when all the gigs are. They're all, late at night. So what we would do is, some people like to go out to party and do their thing, but for us, we wanted to do gigs. So we would be gigging like open mic nights or anything. We'd just be moving about. When you're in New York City, it's really easy to do that, So we would be going to school, and then I'd be, and any sort of free time I could find, I would be writing and gigging and doing studio sessions if I could, because that's what I did even before I went to school. Same thing with our bass player. Even before we both went to school, we were both playing music professionally, and so a lot of people would say, "Oh, you have to give that up." Yeah, it's like, no, why? I can still do it. And there's actually a lot of famous guitar players. Brian May, like guys that have PhDs and doctorate degrees, and guys that have just gone to school, but they love and they play music as well. So we're thinking, well, we can play music and still do our thing during the day. So it never really interfered because, some people like to do other things at night, and that's just what we did.
It's going to be hard.
We kept going.
Would be hard to tour, though, wouldn't it, if you had to keep coming back and during the day to do some dentist work?
Doesn't it give them a good health, like a health plan for the band?
Yeah.
When
right,
you're trying to get a new drummer, hey, listen, we got a health plan. We got dental and we
got medical,
we can help you out.
Nice.
That's right. There's some perks that come along with it, so it's a good deal.
So what's the plan for you guys? Are we going to see a tour, or are you guys just out trying to get some radio play right now, or are you going to?
Well, we did open. We played at the Guitar Gods Festival in Miami, so we opened for Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai, Nickel McBrain.
That must have been cool.
That was killer, and that was a lot of fun. So we got to play at that. And we've just been hoping to just create a little bit of a buzz. The community that we kind of are in is small. I just finished doing a 3-video series for Guitar World magazine. So they've released those. Those have just finished being released, and we're working on a DVD now. So we're trying to just create our buzz, see what the interest is, and because we felt very strongly about the band, just compared to what's out there now, we felt like there's a lot, music's in a tough place now. I feel like there's certain things that are missing that we wanted to try and, I don't know, maybe fill some sort of void that's there. So we want, just people to take a listen to it. If they like it and there's a little bit of a buzz going, we can do that. But we are lining up shows to do in the New York City tri-state area, and we just see how those go. We just take it one step at a time, and that's just what we've been doing since we've started. Is we've just been taking step by step, and as things have progressed, we've gotten a little bit more traction here and there. So we're just working on that slowly.
Well, I've watched a few of your videos on your Facebook, and let's see, you were doing a thing with Leave Me Alive where you were just playing along with it. Now, I'm a guitar builder, and I want to know what kind of guitar that was you were playing. Because I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's you probably wouldn't, because it's one of my friends, Jason Lee. He's a luthier in Rhode Island, and he builds custom guitars. So I had him. We were working on a sort of quote unquote like a signature model, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I was I was trying to come up with something that would be not too pretentious, but still kind of cool. And so we had worked on this design. It has 27 frets. It has a kill switch arcade button, and it has all these kind of cool wacky features on it that I think some modern metal players would like. And the top is made out of this thing called bloodwood. So as it gets a little older, it starts to look even more brown and bloodier, I guess, if you want to call it that. But it's just pretty metal. So so he built that for me, and we used that in the video, and it's a fun guitar to play on. The neck's thin as hell, so it just shreds.
Nice. So are there any tracks on the new album you think could have benefited from maybe adding some cowbell?
All of them, actually. Yeah, you can never have too much.
That's what I was thinking. The only thing this thing needs is some cowbell.
That's it.
Got
some
guitars,
cowbell on it.
Great vocals, everything's there except for the cowbell.
Hey, Steve.
I know.
hey, Steve. Now, if people want to pick up your CD, buy this new album, because I'm telling you, Jerry and I both love it. We think it's a great album. Where would be a place that people could get their hands on copies of this?
So if they want a physical copy, they could just go to cdbaby.com, and if you just type in Denied Truths, that's our album title, you'll see us, Pareidolia. We're the first thing that comes up. If you want a physical copy, and the physical copy is cool. It's a digipack, has some cool artwork in it, a booklet for people that like that, and it has all the lyrics in it as well. And if you just want the just digital, you can either go to, if you like, Amazon.com, or if you like iTunes. The album is mastered for iTunes and CD specifically, so whichever you prefer, you'll be getting the highest fidelity for any audiophiles out there. You'll be getting like the highest quality audio for either one.
Sweet. Beautiful.
Sweet.
Well, we're going to play another song off the CD. The title of it's called Denied Truth, and this is called Quench the Fire. You want to tell us a little bit about this one?
So this was actually one of the few songs on the record that we started with a vocal-only track, and we built backwards. So the singer sent me some idea he had vocally for this track without anything else, and I built the music around the vocals that he gave me. So it was just an isolated vocal track, and he's like, I have this idea for a song with this melody. What can you do with this? So I had this just random stem of audio for his vocals and to a click, and I had to try and write something around that, whatever I heard in my head. And so what you're hearing now is that. So that's usually backwards from how we work, but this was one of the few tracks that we did that on.
All right, well, Jerry and I both give the big thumbs up to this new album, Denied Truth. Go out and pick it up, and Steve, you're welcome back here on Rock and Metal Revival anytime.
Thank you so much. This is great.
To catch the whole show of Rock and Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Megarock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noize Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rock and Metal Revival on their stations.